Good evening and welcome to Bellow Field on what is, well, the prototypical New England April afternoon here in Medford. Some rain, some sun, and two top-tier lacrosse teams ready to go. The 18th ranked Babson College Beavers take on the number one ranked Jumbos here on Bellow in what will close out the Jumbos home campaign, at least for the regular season, as they look to continue rolling on this season that has started so well, 12-0 so far. This is a rather historic matchup, but one that's really turned in recent years. This was a pretty even matchup in the 20th century. Babson winning 6 of the 10 matchups in that century with an average margin of a single goal win. Then we flipped, added an extra century on, and it's been one-sided, to say the least. 8-0 Jumbos in the 21st century with the average goal margin, an 8-goal Jumbo win. But this is a very talented Babson team, and they're one that has really shown they are the class of the new MAC. Back-to-back new MAC champs for this Babson team, and you really just can't bet against them because every year since joining the new MAC back in 2014, they have found a way into that new MAC tournament. In the majority of the years, they've gotten to the conference title game, and they'll be back there again in 2 weeks. And of course, on the other side, the Jumbo's offense is just, it's a masterpiece. They put double digits up at all times. Jack Rigneri, since he stepped on the field opening day as a freshman, has not been on the field in a game which the Jumbos offense did not get to double digits. The Jumbos, last time they were held to single digits, Catherine, here on Bellow Field, April 12th, 2015 versus Bates, more than a decade ago.
That just shows you the talent that these Jumbos have and that they're rolling with throughout each season. They're getting better each season, but so is Babson. They've been improving this throughout this whole season, and I'm excited to see them here play here today.
Absolutely. And I think for the Jumbos, what's important for them is that they can't get flustered. They can't go down because this is a very stout defensive Babson team. Jumbos have kind of had that little bit of the comeback bug this year. Did it against Stevens, against RIT, against CNU, a little bit against Wesleyan. They go down 2 or 3 goals here against Babson. There might not be the goals to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. In their last matchup, I believe the first quarter did lead them 3-3 before Tufts did their usual second quarter comeback. Curious to see if that will happen again here, but as you said, Riley, the defense on this Babson team looks phenomenal coming into this season. It all starts with Alex Fashilla in net. He's been ranked player of the week for, I believe that was last week. Um, Starts with him, and their defense has just been shutting down teams left and right.
It does start with Alex Oshila in the net at 59% save percentage and 829 GAA. Those are two very top tier numbers, and he'll be counted upon to keep the Jumbo's offense quiet here tonight. And Catherine, before we get settled here and get going with the opening draw, we're going to step aside. There will be an anthem in a couple of minutes, but we're just going to pull our best Jim Nance and let nature take its course here and let everyone at home just enjoy the moment on this beautiful sunset here at Bellow Field. And we'll be back in about 3 minutes with the opening draw. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back here to Bello, and I think I have to give a shout out to our fellow JumboCast member, Eva, for her great analysis. We were complaining, Catherine, about 20 minutes ago about the absolutely horrific weather, and Eva rightly told us, you're in New England. If you don't like the weather, just wait 15 minutes, and it is quite gorgeous out.
We waited 15 minutes and we have a beautiful sun. I wouldn't say a rise or a set, a sun appearance on our
Sun
left.
shower? Is that what we calling it?
And all right, Riley.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if the viewers can see it at home, but that is a double rainbow over to the right there, which maybe favors the Beavers. I mean, they are the team wearing the green and white today.
That's true, Riley. I didn't even think of that.
They're going to need all the luck they can get. This is a big matchup for both teams. Babson at 19 in the MPI. Jumbo's at 2. With a win tonight, they would jump Salisbury, move to the top spot in the MPI. But both these teams in at-large bid spots right now, but a loss or two for either of them, and suddenly their postseason aspirations become a whole lot more tenuous.
That is right, Riley. This might be one of the tougher teams they're going to face this year. But I believe they can hold their own. They've proved in past seasons they can hold their own against the Jumbos, although they haven't won. They've held them to the close score, especially throughout the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you with almost absolute certainty, this is the toughest team Babson will see until the NCAA tournament. For the Jumbos, they're not that lucky. They have to finish the regular season with Babson, followed by road trips to Amherst and Bowdoin. So 3 top 25 matchups in 8 days for the Bows to close out the regular season.
Yeah, they don't have this road ahead, but as we've seen, they will bulldoze anybody in their way.
They will, but this should be a good one. The final non-conference matchup to close out the home campaign in the regular season of 2025 for the class of 2025. And as usual, it'll be the usual senior on the draw, Parker Merrill, up on the draw circle. He'll be up against Will Redding, the junior from Southlake, Texas. And we are underway, live from Bello. Merrill had it momentarily. Ben Ferzoli knocked it forward, but it'll be scooped up. Oh, no, I think they're going to get a violation. They did. Babson jumped early and had not been secured, so the Jumbos will start with the ball here and look to get their attacking mids on the field right away. Tagliaferri. Willemsing taking his time getting on the field here. Tagliaferri rolls around the screen. Dumps it off Emsing. He rolls left, works it to the X. Hauser up top. Tagliaferri rolls left. Looks to have a shot, bounces it off the outside of the cage. And it's going to be Jumbo ball. They backed it up. Quick restart here for the Bows. Tagliaferri rolls. Up top, Regneri couldn't catch the pass. It'll get scooped up on the far side by Kelly. 45 to shoot. Kelly rolls the crease, draws the double. Hauser, extra pass. Regneri step down, and a splash save there with some help from Facilla. Jumbo's with a 10-man ride right away. And a forced to turnover. Ethan O'Neill with the pick. Jumbo's running the other way. Emsing rolls to the X. Finds Hauser near side. Fakes the step down. Rolls in. And another point-blank save by Facilla. Two big saves there from the junior early on. Skip pass. Kelly. Roll, shoots, and make it 3 for 3.
I didn't expect these first few minutes to go any other way, Riley.
All-out ride here from the Bows. Facilla in some trouble right now, and the Jumbos possess. Kelly got it stripped from him. Back on the turf. Hauser scoops it, dumps it off the outside of the post. from Ettinghausen. Babson playing a little bit fast and loose. On cue, they turn the ball over. Second best clearing team in the country, 0 for 2 to start the day. Emsing dumps it off to Ettinghausen. Work to the X. Jumbo's making some substitutions here. Bo Keogh on the field for the first time today. Rolls right, jump shot, and he finds the back of the cage.
There were how many men in front of him, Riley? 3?
I don't know.
And the goal?
At least.
Wow. Wow. Wow, Fashila is good. You don't see a shot coming from there very often.
You don't, and I don't think anyone had Bo Keogh as the first scorer on their bingo card. If they made that bet, they made a lot of money.
Yeah, if there are bets being made about this game.
Same two back on the draw. Maryland Reading fighting for it. Reading gets the clean draw win, and the Beavers will look to go offensively. They'll get set up. It'll come here to the near side. That's Topher Bauer. The ball somehow ended up on the sideline and a third successive turnover for the Beavers.
You can't let this happen. If you want to get up on the Jumbos, you need to start with possession.
Sam Frizzoli walks the tightrope. Beaver defense out hard, but Frizzoli able to split the double. Ragnari wants it and gets it here on the near side. Rolls right, draws a double behind the back feed, caught, shot, scored. How about that from Ettinghausen?
Wow, I was not expecting to see a shot like that either at the beginning of this game. Normally we see those creative shots coming out third, fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the Jumbos, they don't seemingly want to mess around. I think they got a little bit scared towards the end of that Middlebury game. I mean, they had a 12-goal lead at a point. Middlebury cut it to 5 down the stretch. They're not taking any chances so far to start this one.
No, they are not. We've seen them in the past. They have 2 different versions of not taking chances.
Another draw win for the Bows. Jumbos with 7 shots. Babson without a offensive possession that's lasted more than 7 seconds. Jackson Red now. Dodges, draws the double, forced to the X, but he'll get rid of it. Skipped up, scooped up nicely by Keogh. Back to the X. It'll come to Ragnari near side. Knocked free, gets it back, spins. Still driving, still going, and he pushed it wide with the shot.
Wow. At this point, Riley, if I were to describe the Jumbos team in one word for this game, I would say cohesive. Right now, they are passing like it's a hot potato.
Ragnari through everybody, but he can't find the crease, and he stepped in it, in fact. The crease violation on the junior. We'll see if the Beavers can figure out the clear this time. Works now to the near side. That's Trip Clark, and he'll get it between the lines. Finally, a successful clear there for the Beavers. 5 minutes into this one. Allen worked to the X. Ball dropped out of the stick of Sam Sisk on the turf, and it'll be Garzone out of his cage to collect it. And Catherine, you talked about at the open how Babson has to take advantage of their opportunities. We're 6 minutes into this game. That's already 4 turnovers.
Yeah, and the Jumbos will force them. We'll give them that. But simple pass and catch transitions is where Jumbos capitalize, and if you can get that down, if you are opposing the Jumbos, you need to.
Ragnari, little stutter step, drops back. That's a new one, but he couldn't find the cage. Hauser with the restart. Looks to roll the crease. No one there. Reverse shot. Bouncing around, and it's scooped up on the rebound by the Beavers, who are going to look to run for the first time today. This is Sammy Kalishman. Kalishman, a name JumboCast fans will recognize. He's on the Babson soccer team as well, a captain on both of those teams. Babson bench screaming there at Bennett Smith to get set on a play. They do not like the way their substitutions are going. Extra pass. Roll dodge and a finish there by Luke Wang, the senior.
And Riley, you know where that started?
Where did it start, Catherine?
In the transition, they kept the ball. Once they have the ball in the Jumbo's defensive half, they're good to go. They know what their skills are. They know they can score. It's that transition that the Jumbos will make you pay.
Cannot agree more. And I think for Babson, that's the key to this game. It's get the ball into the settled set, slow the Jumbos down, and trust that, I mean, we saw time and time again in those first 5 minutes, Facila step up. If you get it into a settled set game, you have the individual talent to beat this Jumbos team.
Absolutely.
Salcedo going to win that draw on the second effort, despite the Babson coaching staff having some words for the side judge about it. Jumbo's going to quickly look to attack. Hauser fakes rolling, dumps it off, step down, and that is wide. It'll stay with the Bows. A good look there for Candel Cristo. Pass inside, caught. Back on the turf, scooped up. Ragneri spins back right, gets run over, and the ball pops free. It'll stay with the Bows momentarily, but Babson's going to come away with it.
I saw someone asking for a goal there, Riley. I couldn't see the net, but did it look like a goal?
Did not look like it crossed the line. I think the only people asking for the goal were the Jumbos. Coaching staff seems uninterested in that appeal. Babson in some trouble, and I think they stepped out. They did. A 5th turnover for the Beavers. Very difficult to possess the ball when you have Michael Ayers and Joey Walbaum double teaming you. Panagopoulos in trouble, but gets rid of it. Hauser catches on the X. Spin's going to try and roll the crease. Draws the double up top, Tagliaferri. Gets through, gets a look off the top, and it'll stay with Tufts, a fresh 60. Garrett Kelly with it up top. He has not had a look so far today. Might want to change that. Dumps it off. Little two-man game. Kelly, face dodge. Got it knocked out of his stick. Scoops it back up, draws the double. Spins around one, gets around a second. Hauser works it to the X. Looking to feed inside. Play being called out from the bench as it comes up top to Emsing with 25 to shoot. Low shot is sniped in by Will Emsing.
Again, so hard for the goalie. Against such a good goalie, it's important to take those long shots. You're less likely to get a goal standing right in front of him, but if he doesn't even see it coming, he can't save it.
He didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. Emsing deciding to go with the submarine shot and find some netting to make it 3-1 Bows. Parker Merrill back out on this draw after Salcedo won the last. And he's going to make it 4 for 5 on the draw for the Bows. Ragneri, skip pass behind Ethan O'Neill, and that's an unforced turnover. will allow the Jumbos to set up their ride at midfield. Ball already on the turf. Though Babson is able to clear successfully on the second attempt. Time and space now for Justin Green. Been really good on the year. 17 goals for Green, who transferred from Union. He's played the Jumbos 3 times in his career, has a goal and an assist. The only player on this Babson roster to have beat the Jumbos when he was on Union in 2022 here on Bello. Step down, Garzone with the save. Rebound is going to be scooped up in the end by Ben Clark. Jumbos looking to run. Michael Ayers walks the tightrope, and he might look to attack. With space, Ayers got it knocked free. Regneri couldn't scoop it. Couple men go down. Ball knocked back. Well played there from the Beavers, who are going to look to go. Jumbo's one offside. D'Onofrio screaming they're not getting the call. On the X now. Lang with it. Against Regneri, who's hung up defensively here. Pass, tried to skip through the defense. Knocked down momentarily, but not able to be scooped cleanly. Now it'll get ahead to Clark. 4-on-3 for the Bows. Ben Clark. Jump shot bounced wide of the cage. Another deep hole wanted to get in on the scoring action. Eddinghausen taking his time here on the X. Little stutter step. Up top. Worked near side, Regneri. Skip pass, missed the cut. Good idea there. Somehow saved in play by Emsing. And it'll be scooped up by Kelly with 30 to shoot. He's looking to go. Dumps it off. Tagliaferri with a shot. It'll be a fresh 60, I believe, here. Could not see what the referees had called there.
I heard it go off the post and thought it was going to be a Jumbo's ball, but it looks like it might have been some sort of push on the Jumbos.
We are being told it was a push call against the Jumbos. Successful clear for Babson, who's figured out the way to beat this Jumbos all-out ride is to go with the lob pass. Seamus Rooney, he's the Beavers' leading scorer on the year. Tried to beat Garzone short side, and Connor's a little too experienced to get that to work. Easiest clear of the year for the Bows. Timmons works it to the X. Gonna set a screen now for Hauser. He'll roll the other way. Regneri with it up top as the Jumbos substitute out. Regneri. Spins. Looking to shoot. And did that get in? Oh my lord, he did it again.
What do you expect, Riley?
I don't know what to expect with him anymore. It feels like I'm just playing 20 questions with Jack Regneri, trying to guess what's going to happen next.
That's a hard game of 20 questions.
And after the Beavers had seemingly calmed things down here, the Jumbos hit him with a quick 2-0 run. Push the lead to 3. Clean draw win there from Merrill. Bounces it on the turf. Hauser with a smart play to knock it ahead and will go scoop it himself. Jackson Red with it up top. Near side. Regneri forced to spin out of it. It'll come up top to Keogh. That one wide. Worked near side now. Up, under, shot. And it'll be saved there by the Beavers, and they're looking to go. Babson still with some trouble substituting here. Their bench screaming at some of their D-mids to get off the field.
Yeah, all three coaches trying to figure out their substitutions for Babson.
It's very similar to the problem we saw a week ago with Bates and ended up costing them down the stretch. Berardi just lost it, and they're going to say he was pushed, so the Jumbo's going to go man down. See what the call is here. Looks like it's going to be a technical there on Panagopoulos, I believe. It will be on Del Cristo, my apologies. Jumbo's going to go man down for 30 seconds here. Get away with a lot here on Bello, but 2 hands to the back when both referees are watching. Not usually something you're going to get away with.
No, but it's starting to show the tension between the teams. They do have a lot of history, as you were mentioning, in the pregame.
That shot wide of Garzon's cage on a good look there for Berardi. Babson looking to work quickly. Half the man up gone. Berardi again, same result.
Maybe third time. It's a charm.
Well, this team in the green and white is going to need some charms to start working fast. 5 left on the man up. Berardi. Jumbo's back to full strength. Babson can hold for the last shot of the first quarter. Bennett Smith with it. Works it to the X with 15. Now 10 to go. Trying to roll the crease. Nothing there. Jumbo's going to get aggressive now with 3. Falling down, not getting a shot off is Seamus Rooney. And a really horrific end to the first quarter for the Beavers, who had the ball for 60 seconds and could not put a shot on Garzon's frame. After one, Jumbo's lead 4-1. Welcome back here to Bello. Start of quarter number 2. They will switch sides here, go the other way. Salcedo out on the draw for the Bows. I'm joined now by Micah Baum. And Micah, as the Jumbos continue to have discipline problems, that's a way to get Babson back in the game.
It really is. There's been one-way traffic so far. 18 shots for the Jumbos to Babson's 5. Make that 6 now. It's just been so hard for the Beavers to swim upstream here against this Jumbos attack.
I like that pun.
Thank you.
I mean,
On the spot as well. I didn't even have that one planned.
You're not Nick Dorr?
Shockingly.
And I think for Babson, you have to take advantage of this chance. You saw that man-up opportunity to end the first quarter that I think the Beavers would like back, and they're going to get a second chance at it, but you got a minute here. If you don't find the back of the net, this game could get away from you fast. Up top here for Babson. Skip pass to the near side, and it missed everyone. And that's not exactly how they wanted to start it.
No, I don't think they heard you. In terms of taking that opportunity, just could not find the man. And you have to wonder if, knowing that it's a man-up opportunity, that's getting in their heads a bit. They just think they have to make it count that much more, and they're just cracking under the nerves against this number 1 team.
Babson has not been great on the man-up this year, only 34% coming into today. But they have been able to take advantage of it in close games, and now they're going to go man down because they jumped offside. There's bad man-up situations, and then there's whatever we've seen in the last 2 minutes of this game from the Beavers.
Yeah, and this has been a notable trend over their season. 34.5% on man-up possessions, as you say. That's down from 52.6% last year, so that is a marked drop-off.
It is, and it is a very drastic change compared to their man-down unit, which is one of the best in the country at 82%, which we'll get to see if the Jumbos don't score in the next 15 seconds. Emsing rolls. Hauser with 10. Near side Kelly. He's going to have to create. On his left with 5. Hauser step down, and a big-time body block there from Ty Ambrose.
I mean, that's the Babson defense we were expecting to see tonight, one of the best defenses in the country, and they've really had to change their play style this year. I mean, after last year, they got Jared Rainville in on a grad transfer from Conn College, and he just casually set their program record for single-season scoring, 78 goals for him. And when you lose a player like that, even he just shaved the program around him in that one season. They've really dropped off their attacking numbers, but they have clamped down defensively as well.
They have not changed their mentality in terms of using the transfer market to go get attackers, but no one the like of Canville. And we'll see how this man-down unit does against the Jumbo's potent attack. And a snipe low-high from Rigneri. As Babson had made a goalie change, Andrew Unquist in net.
He's gotten some decent amount of playtime this year, but, I mean, against Rigneri, what can you do? As Catherine mentioned, taking those shots from long range, just testing them, making them work for their time in net, and he is not having a great start to it tonight.
That's fascinating. So, it was not an injury related at all. They just brought Almquist in for the man down, and now back in net there is Facia. Something definitely to pay attention to. A coaching decision that, at least this time, did not work. A recreation of the Battle of Lexington and Concord, and eventually the Jumbos come away with the ball. And they're going. Rigneri shoots wide of the cage. He's going to take his time, allow the Jumbos to substitute. Spins left, draws the double. Around 1. Keeps his feet somehow. Up top to Chase Byer, who's on the field for the first time in a while. He'll find Peter Kramer at the near side. Draws the slide. Works it to Hauser on the X. Byer to Rigneri. Low submarine shot and a foot save from Facia.
Tell Rigneri is really feeling himself. He's just been unstoppable this season virtually.
Hauser was feeling himself there, but he couldn't keep it quite down. Ettinghausen going to restart play.
Regnieri already with 8 shots on the game, 6 on goal.
Byer draws the slide, bounces the pass. No real attempt from Babson to go try and win that ball. They'll clamp back down defensively. 35 left on the shot clock as Regnieri rolls. Ettinghausen on the X. Turns around and buries it near post.
I mean, talk about a size matchup. Max Ettinghausen does a great job to get around his defender there. That's going to be Gavin Bailey in defense for the Beavers, but he just used the body as a decoy so that you see the goalkeeper, Fashilla, couldn't see the ball coming in until it was much too late.
Yeah, absolutely. Fool Fashilla, but a little bit of poor goalkeeping there. If you're the goalie, you got to guard that far post. Trust that your defender is going to force the shot to the far side. That time, neither Babson player took away the near side. Ettinghausen was able to finish. And another draw win there, or it would have been. Somehow not a trip called. And Babson's going to come away with the ball. We'll see if they can get going offensively.
I think the call from the Tufts bench was, "What is that?"
And I think the referee has decided that it was not enough in the physicality of this game to warrant a whistle. Cradling it up top here is Jesse Buchanan. Or excuse me, that's Anthony Stillwell, the transfer from D1 Hobart. His shot was wide of the cage. The Jumbos will take possession. Michael Ayers with that little lob ahead to Frizzoli for the clear. He'll play Hauser, come and set a screen. Double screen, Hauser comes off it. Point save, Regnieri grabs the rebound, gets choked and scores anyway.
It's great work from Hauser, as you said, the attacking play from the players off the ball, setting those screens and giving him that open look. And Fischel did his best to just keep it out at all costs, but that cost was sending it straight to Regnieri, and he's not going to miss from there.
And you almost feel bad for Fischilla because he has 9 saves on the day already. But you look at the scoreboard and his team's down 6.
I mean, that's a story for so many keepers who come here to Bello this season, on the men's or women's side.
Clean draw win there from Merrill, and he might look to go. Gonna shoot, and a scoop save from Fischilla.
It's just not stopping. When it rains, it pours, as we learned earlier.
Don't remind me. Jumbos weren't on the same page there. Babson looking to go in transition. But the Jumbos, just as they can turn defense into offense, can get back defensively on the flip of a switch. This is Green up top. Hard drive, tight angle, and Garzone was ready for it. Perfect outlet pass caught by Logan Lee. Hauser has Ayers. The pull with the goal.
I mean, that's just a pure confidence finish there from Michael Ayers, sprinting all the way up the field. And the flowing move from the Jumbos, as if they expected Ayers to pop up in that position.
Yeah, it's just a joy to watch. There's no other team in the country that has its D-pulls play the way the Jumbos do. And Michael Ayers, who made the transition in the offseason from LSM to D, showing he still has that attacking game in him.
We're only 5.5 minutes into the second quarter. This is looking ugly for Babson.
It is. I mean, we talked about the Jumbos and their double-digit streak here on Bello. That's a decade long. Wasn't necessarily thinking they would hit it halfway through the second quarter. Beavers did win that draw, so they can look to get something going offensively. Try and salvage this second quarter. Very slow play here from Babson. Bauer inside shot. I think that was actually a pass. He'll come up with it up top again. Around the horn it comes. Jumbos want some more aggressive defense here as the shot clock ticks to 20. Skip pass, inside shot, and another save there by Garzone. Rebound scooped up by the Bows, but then given away. Point blank look. Garzone with the save, and the rebound scooped up. Who else but Joey Walbaum?
And you mentioned it there. It's just Babson's offense has been slow. They just haven't gotten Jumbos out of position. The only real way they got that point-blank chance was the transition.
Jumbo's the opposite of slow. They're going quick again. Ragnari with a low pass, uncharacteristic, and a push that's going to save the Jumbo possession.
Yeah, that is a let-off there. Ragnari, I think, thought someone was behind him, or someone who could be onside.
And if you're Babson, you just got to be so frustrated, especially with how many chances you've had to seemingly get out of situations and just squander them at the last possible minute. Tagliaferro with that trademark little crow hop. Ragnari catches off the top of the crossbar. Kicked back into the field of play. And Babson's going to run here. This is Ty Ambrose, who had that nice block at the end of the first quarter. Up top. And interestingly, Micah, in that transition, we could hear the Babson bench telling their attackmen to slow things down.
I mean, when you're in this situation, you just want to get something on the board, but I feel like you need to just put this Jumbo's team on edge because they have been very comfortable so far in defense.
Yeah, and they did it again there, knocking that ball free. Verzoli couldn't scoop it up cleanly, though. And referee's going to have a dispute here about whether or not possession changed. It'll be a fresh 80 for Babson. Jumbo's going to use the stop here to get their D-middies on the field. Quick dodge there from Seamus Rooney. Up top, extra pass. Little two-man game. Babson playing a little bit of soccer speed here. Smith works it around the GLE. Reverses. Near side, still no shot. Spin dodge. Hands free, but he couldn't put it on Garzone's cage. It'll stay with Babson. 30 to shoot.
It looks like they got their fresh 80 and they're going to make their money's worth.
That one too high, and Walbaum won the race.
Jumbo's still outpacing Babson nearly 3-1 in the shots category and, well, 8-1 quite clearly in the goals.
I think even more importantly than the shots on goal.
Exactly. 19-6 to Tufts right now.
Oh, they're going to get an illegal screen prior to the shot from Verzoli. Jumbo's going to bring the all-out ride here. They're going to force Babson to do something. Dangerous pass across the middle, picked up by Jack Feeks. He'll recycle. That's a dangerous pass. And a great job coming back to get it there from Topher Bauer before he threw it away. Jumbo's running, and they'll turn it over the other way.
You mentioned it in the first quarter there, but Babson, the second best clearing team in the country, second only to Bowdoin. And that should be their strength, but they've really struggled against the Jumbos right when they bring it all out.
Yeah, 10 for 14 on the day are the Beavers for a team that's 92% on the year.
They've only failed 23 clears on the year before today.
This is the first time all year they've had more than 3 clearing fails in a game, and that is clear fail number 5 in the first half. Garzone sees the rod, gets rid of it. That one, another poor clear attempt from the Jumbos, and Babson's going to turn it right back over. We're playing turnover lacrosse here on Bello. Eddinghausen. Dear Lord. And I really like that timeout from Casey D'Onofrio because this had really quickly turned into JV lacrosse.
That was a bizarre sequence there. It's just, I think neither team wanted the ball for a second.
I think they thought they were playing with like a grenade. There's 4 turnovers in like 4 seconds.
And if you're Babson, you've done a decent job defending these last 5 minutes or so. You've kept Jumbos at arm's length, but still just haven't gotten anything else on the board, still sitting at that 1 goal. And like we said, they've lost a lot of attacking firepower from last year. They lost Rainville, but they also, second top scorer from last year, Ben Taus, has only played 3 games this season and none in the last 5 weeks, I think. It's really been, they've had to change their style of approach to most games, but that just isn't working today against Tufts.
Yeah, and I think that's a credit to the Jumbos. They have a system that really, with the sole exception of Stevens, who kept them to a 9-7 game, no one has been able to change the Jumbos' way of play. They have played fast. They've dared you to outscore them in a high-scoring game all year, and so far it's worked to perfection. And they're running the same script back here against the Beavers.
Yeah, the scary part is that Tufts are the 5th best scoring offense in the country, and they're scoring 1.5 goals a game less than they did last year.
I do wonder, would that still be the case if they had Jack Rigneri healthy for the full season? 5th best scoring offense in the country with their leading scorer, the best underclassmen scorer in program history, having missed 4 games.
Yeah, still sitting 2nd in the goals per game tally in D3.
Successful clear this time for the Beavers. See if they can get something to give them some semblance of hope going into the halftime break. The referee is telling Rocky Batty that he does not want to hear any more objections. Dumped off to the X. Skip pass up top, step down wide. That's better from Babson.
That's better, just finding the open man. The Jumbos were all caught looking, though, so that's as much a lapse in the Jumbos' concentration as it was Babson doing well.
Comes near side. Aggressive defense. Forcing it to the GLE. Little cycle play. Near side. That's Sisk. Now it's Bauer. Dumps it off. Smith with it. Up top. Calling out a play now with 10 to shoot. Skip pass. Hard shot. Finished.
Garzone just collapsed there. That go 5-hole?
I couldn't get a great view. He definitely went down. It looked like it either beat him 5-hole or it beat him over. I think the Turf Monster might have gotten to Garzone on that one.
Babson trying again. Finally, it comes up. Still a big deficit to come back. They do have 1 comeback win on the year. 2 losses when trailing at halftime, though, as well.
And I can confirm, Micah, you were right. That did beat Garzone on the 5-hole.
And that's something to give you confidence, if nothing else, and that too.
It's a horrible turnover from the Jumbos. And I think a ward called. No, they're going to get a timeout for Babson.
At this point, you got 3 minutes left in the half, down by 6. If you can cut that deficit to maybe 4 by the halftime break, you could feasibly see Babson getting back into this game, but it's still a big ask.
It is a big ask, and I think the biggest ask of that is that they actually get it to 4, considering I don't know if they're going to get more than 2 possessions, and the sort of time they're taking on every possession right now is a question.
Yeah, the one thing they have to hope for is the Jumbos have some more turnovers quickly.
I mean, if you're Babson and you got told that at halftime the Jumbos would have committed 9 turnovers, you would have felt pretty good. When you then got told that you were 11 for 15 clearing with 12 turnovers and had faced 29 shots, you'd feel less good.
Yeah, but the scary part for Tufts is that Babson only caused 3 of their 9 turnovers. That's 6 unforced turnovers on their end.
It is, and I think Casey and Alpha will definitely have some words for his team about that at the halftime break. But some of those are just a nature of the way the Jumbos play. You got to think 3 to 4 of those, I'm thinking back, were just passes that were slightly off because they were playing at 1.5 speed. There were a couple, though, that were just, you sit there watching the game from afar with the luxury of not having to be judged for your own lacrosse skills and just saying, what are we watching here? But really, that was in that 2-minute stretch where neither team wanted to hold the lacrosse ball for more than 3 seconds at a time. Three minutes to play here in the first half. 8-2 is the Jumbo lead. Roll the GLE, forces the skip, reverse back. And again, on the turf, a scoop back up there by Sisk. Green plays a little 2-man game with Seamus Rooney. First look of the day for Camden Matthews, second on the team in points. Rooney spins, hands free, works it near side of green. He rolls but can't get a look. Smith with 20 to shoot. Dodges, hands down, Rooney, wide. It'll stay with Babson, 18 to shoot.
Here's the challenge. How do they do this with 18 seconds?
Rooney with the face dodge in 10. Draws the double up top. And the answer, Micah, is they won't. Jumbo's going, and they're going fast. Ayer's able to save it ahead. Regneri catches, and he'll look to go. Tagliaferri draws the double. Spins out of it. And the Jumbos are going to slow it down momentarily. Kelly lowers the shoulder, gets an angle, but can't put it down on frame. Jumbos with 60 left to shoot. 20-second difference, shot clock, game clock. Addinghausen rolls the Kelly screen, gives it right back to him. Kelly shoots and scores.
I was just about to say Babson had held the Jumbo scoreless for about 8 minutes, but Garrett Kelly breaking that streak quickly.
And that has been so characteristic of the Jumbos this year. Their ability to finish quarters and halves, especially the end of the first half, off so well. We saw them do it last week, against Bates when they were in a 1-goal game with 90 seconds left in the first half and then walked into the halftime break with a 4-goal lead.
Especially when Babson have been attacking for so much, then putting so much energy into that, and suddenly you catch their defense off guard. And Euro attackers have so much energy left in the tank after resting.
Another fight with half the team on the field and on the turf. Ball back to midfield, and I believe it's going to be a clamp. It's going to be a push against Babson. I got to love it. The Babson assistant coach telling the referee no, while the Babson head coach, Rocky Batty, just looks at his assistant and shakes his head up and down as if to say, yeah, that was the right call.
That was a 17-second delay between the face-off starting and the foul being called, and it would have gone on longer without the foul.
Regneri buries it.
I mean, what can you say at this point? There really just isn't anything you can say. When he winds up from that range, when he feels like it, he can just put it in the top corner.
I almost think you just have to double him from the start. Make someone else beat you. And I know that's like crazy to say because the Jumbos have about 24 attackmen who can beat you, but at this point, I'd rather, like, if I'm Babson, risk getting beat spectacularly by someone else than try the same thing and hope for a different result.
If you're Babson, you're thinking you've been practicing against this Babson offense, who, as we've seen, have not been the quickest. When Jack Regneri just decides after about 20 seconds, less than that, I'm just going to rip this one.
Pretty sure that there's more time in that face-off than there was in the Jumbo possession. We'll see if Babson holds for the final look of this half. Shot clock will not be a factor the rest of the way. Inside dodge. No crease violation. Well done there from Sisk. Up top with 15. Step down wide. It'll stay with Babson. 14 to shoot. And something's going on here. Jumbo's screaming. They got a violation. Unclear what the call was. All sorts of chaos here in Medford. Timmons flying. He's going to look to shoot. Inside pass. And the Jumbos do it again.
And that is why you can never take your eye off the ball at the end of the half. And you were just saying how well the Jumbos attack towards the end of those periods.
I mean,
Three goals in, what, 80 seconds?
Yeah, it's exactly what they did last Wednesday. They said, all right, you're getting back into this game. We're going to hit you with 3 in 90 seconds to close the first half.
I mean, Babson taking whole 80 seconds and can't get a shot on frame. Tufts take 80 seconds without even the ball the whole time and put 3 away.
We go to the halftime break here on Bello. Jumbo's with an 11-2 lead, led by Jack Regneri's hat trick. Micah, I mean, what, if you're Babson, can you do to try and get yourself back in this game?
I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again. You just need to put the Jumbo's defense on edge because they are having a very comfortable time defending you tonight. You are taking a bit too much time off of the shot clock and making it a bit too predictable when you're going to take that shot. But for the Jumbos, just to put in perspective how dominant they've been, Babson have averaged giving up 8.5 goals a game this year. The Jumbos have put away 11 in the first half.
A lot to think about for the Beavers. We're going to step aside, be back with you in about 10 minutes for the second half. See if Babson can turn it around. Welcome back here to Bello. About ready to get going here for the third quarter. And the Jumbos attack, well, it's been quick again, Catherine. We had this lovely graphic made talking about how they had scored 98 goals, this starting attack. They're now at 104. They've scored 6 in the first half, which, yeah.
We knew this graphic wasn't going to be correct at this point in the game, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be off by 6, I will say.
Ettinghausen with a hat trick as well as Jack Regneri. Also goals from Garrett Kelly, Will Emsing, Michael Ayers, and I think the most surprising thing, a double for Bo Keogh, who's looking for potentially his first career hat trick.
I think he can get it today. He showed out and shown out big today for the Jumbos. I could put that on my bingo card.
Bo Keogh with the first goal in the hat trick would be a very interesting bingo card to have. Ball on the turf. Salcedo had it momentarily. And it's going to get spun back into the midfield. And Regneri is going to win the foot race. Dodge through 2 and a third. And if that had gone in, did that go in?
That went in, Riley.
Are you kidding me?
No, and at this point, I would expect you not to be surprised anymore with as many goals that you've seen in his career. I would call that shot a Twizzler. Would you agree?
It was definitely a Twizzler, but it also was like a submarine Twizzler.
I think he needs a new shot that has his name on it.
The Regneri? All right, we'll take suggestions in the comments for what we should call the Regneri.
Be as creative as you like.
Merrill back out on the dot as the Jumbos have pushed the lead to double digits here. Jumbos looking to go again. Regneri going to take a seat for a little bit. Bo Keogh back on the field. As another goal, that one belonging, I believe, to Max Ettinghausen, his 4th. Is it? I can't, was that 13 or 33?
13, Riley. That would be Ettinghausen.
So a 4th for Max Ettinghausen. And the Jumbos just continue to roll.
That's 2 players already with 4 goals. 45 seconds into the second half.
Yeah, the starting attack with 8 through 31 minutes. And a clean win from Parker Merrill, who tried to be a little too cute, chipping that ahead. And Bowden's going to look to go offensively. Going to be taken here on the X for the Beavers. And they're in some trouble. 2-man ride, knocks the ball free. Kept in play nicely by Lee. Ayers scoops it up, and the Jumbos are going to run.
And they've got...
What?
I spoke too soon. I was about to say they have room. But you will not have room if you turn the ball over like they just did. That is an uncharacteristic missed pass for the Jumbos.
Elliot Rutherford just couldn't handle that little outlet from Garzone. Regneri's stick, good. He's back on the field. As it comes up top. Wang with it. Draws the double, works it wide. That's Smith now. He'll roll the alley, dump it across the GLE. Catch it on the roll. Little cycle play going on here. Skip pass near side, extra pass to the GLE. They had a shot but didn't take it. Scoots back up eventually. Matthews with it. He then throws it behind the GLE. And once again, Babson will restart the offense with 20 seconds to shoot. Near side for Wang. Working against Lee. 10 now. Skipped back. Ball pops free. Jumbo's come up with it. And another poor possession for Babson. Del Cristo running. Dropped by Regneri, but he's going to scoop it back up. Spins. Looks to roll the crease around the O'Neal screen. Up top, Hauser. Brooks tries to get on the scoreboard, but another nice save there from Frasilla. Jumbo's with an aggressive ride, and they force the turnover. Clearing really been a problem today for Babson. Though it hasn't been good for the Jumbos.
Same for the Jumbos. I think both teams' averages
Uh-oh.
are down.
Some heavy contact over there. And I think a trap. What's the call? It's going to be a fresh 80, I believe, for the Jumbos. Hauser. Near side, Kelly. Backing up. Spins left. Draws the double. Work to the X. Inside feed, couldn't find the cutter. And it'll be scooped up by the Beavers. We're going to look to clear successfully for the first time in a while. They did until Panagopoulos knocked the ball free. Kelly comes back on the turf. Men go down, sticks go down, Jumbo ball. If they change that call, the Jumbo coaching staff is about to lose their mind.
They were right there, happy with the call. That it is the Jumbo's ball.
Panagopoulos quickly to Tagliaferri. Babson, all sorts of caught out. Shot on frame. Rebound pops out. And another all-out ride will begin. That one picked off by Eddinghausen. And he'll make it 5.
And that's why you do the all-out ride, Riley. What a goal. You can never be too careful with the Jumbos.
Can't, and that pass, from the moment it left the stick across the field, you could just tell that it was going to end in disaster for Babson.
Yeah, Eddinghausen read that like a book.
That 5th goal there for Eddinghausen ties his career high, which he scored against Middlebury last year. Great hustle from Salcedo to track all the way back and win that draw.
Yeah, there's some pushing and a slight shift of offsides there.
Skying to try and grab that was Joey Kraft, but he couldn't come up with it cleanly. And I guess Eddinghausen's not going to have a chance. No, interesting. Looks like D'Onofrio's going to give him a chance to go break his personal record, but end of the day for Jack Regneri and for Brooks Hauser as Melton and Kraft enter the game. Wang looking to roll. And as I say that, Regneri and Hauser seem to have won the argument with the coaching staff. They get to continue. Skipped across. Back to the far side with Wang against Panagopoulos. And just no penetration whatsoever. Smith. Low pass. Skipped to the X. Up top with 15. Now 10 to shoot. Face dodge. Good look. It'll stay with Babson. They got 5 to shoot. And they will take the Gilman with 5 seconds. I kind of think that might be the white flag from the Beavers.
It feels just a little too far from the end of the game to be doing that, but they seemed a lot more settled down on their attack, even though it didn't come away with a goal. They looked more comfortable, and the Jumbos less so in that set down there.
Aggressive ride here. Jumbos have 5 to get it across. Garzone and Jumbos are offside. Garzone got away with it. No, he didn't. Had gotten away with it for a while. Aim at the net and a finish from distance there. Empty net and a goal for Trip Clark.
Yeah, the Jumbos thought they were on sides. They had a man come back, but the goalies won more, I guess.
Yeah, Jumbos lost track of their numbers. They had 2 back, which normally would be good unless you have your goalie taking the ball across the restraining line, in which case you need 3 back, and they did not.
Yes.
And a great job there from the grad D-man, Trip Clark, recognizing the empty net and putting it away. Salcedo lost an edge, ran over a man, ball bouncing around, still being fought for. And the Jumbos scoop it up. Skip pass all the way up top. It'll come to Regneri, and the Jumbos can make their substitutions, but they might not wait for Zoli, whips it wide. Quick restart. Hauser tries to get in on the fun, but once again misses. And a good job from Will Emsing to back that one up. Emsing rolls right, draws a double up top. Tagliaferri, who's been quiet today. Down low, Enninghausen trying to get a 6th. Rebound scooped around. And eventually he'll get it. Emsing will finish.
Was that Emsing?
I believe it was Emsing. Looking for confirmation. But it was 33 with the goal.
Got it.
So a first on the day for Will Emsing, a 15th for the Bows, who are rolling once again.
Yeah, one thing I will say that the Jumbos have been doing exceptionally well today, and it's showing, is their work with the ground balls. They've had a bunch of scrappy ground balls, but almost everyone I hear Riley's voice say, and it's won by the Jumbos. And that, you can't be getting 50-50 balls given to you.
Couple of changes here for the Jumbos. The entire starting attack unit has been pulled, along with the first unit midfield, and a change in net. It's the goal scorer, Ben Friedman, in net, replacing Garzone. And he'll get entered into the game by going to grab that ground ball and flip it ahead. Brooks Burns in some trouble. Right back to Friedman. Ooh, Stockdale with the spin. Jumbo's just toying with Babson right now. Flag goes flying. Jumbo's going to go man up for something behind the play. Chase Byer. Kraft now with it. Rolls in and out. Red. Trying to get his hands free, dumps it off. Slide comes. Worked back. Double and another flag. Jumbo's going to go 2 men up. Red rolls. Skip pass down low. And it ends up in the back of the net somehow. We'll see what they call. It's going to be a jumbo goal.
Was that Jackson Red?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of chaos on that play.
Wow. We haven't seen him shoot from distance much, but he is proving his talent here tonight.
Both penalties are wiped out. And it was actually a pass that got deflected and ended up in the back of the net. It is Bo Keogh's goal given on
Really?
the assist from Red, so a first career hat trick there.
Check that
for
out.
Bo
the bingo
Keogh.
card.
Merrill continuing to fight on the faceoff dot, but that one won by the Beavers. Gavin Bailey knocked out of his stick by Ben Clark. And a little too quick of a restart. Jumbo's looking to clear and will. With Sam Frizzoli. Gets a step, draws the slide. Works it, that's Max Melton. He'll take a jog to the X. All the way up here. Now Bowman Ryan Smith with it. Rolls down the alley. Hands free. And a good save there by Facia. Babson trying to clear. And yet again, it goes wrong.
Yeah. The Jumbos will apply that pressure to you and make you make those little mistakes before they capitalize on it.
Oh, Bowden got away. Yep, they're going man down.
Babson.
They tripped their own man, fell across the timeline, and got caught offside. Ryan Smith, wide, and Jumbo's going to go man up.
Right now, they do only have 2 back.
And interestingly here, D'Onofrio seemingly has not seen enough from his starting man-up unit, so he's going to bring the starting midfield and attack back onto the field here.
Not a choice we've seen him make many times, but I'm sure there's a reason.
I'd watch for a trick play here. It'll start up top with Tagliaferri. Brooks Hauser now. Fake inside feed, caught, shot, and just a little too high on a good cut from Garrett Kelly. Quick restart. 2-man game on the GLE. Kelly cuts again. Same result. Skipped up top. Hauser fakes the step down. Extra pass around the horn. Enninghausen makes it 6.
Riley, I will say, I don't think we noted this before. Babson did have a goalie change while we were looking the other way. It is now Andrew Almquist.
That's the second time they've done that tonight. They've brought Almquist in for the man-down unit, and it has worked horribly for them both times.
I mean, he has scared the Jumbos. The Jumbos did not shoot on goal for at least 2 shots in a row before they ended up scoring, which is not a usual characteristic for the Jumbos.
Definitely a good analysis there, Catherine. The margin just continues to grow here. Jumbo's looking to go again. Step down. Save. And another nice one. This time they're going to keep Almquist out there. Shot from distance wide of Friedman's cage. On a good look there for Ambrose. Jumbo's going to double. Babson has a man cutting down Main Street. They find him, but a save by Friedman. Jumbo's running with Logan Lee. Skip pass, couldn't get through. Lee knocked it down, scooped it up. Drives to the cage, and off the outside of the post. Jumbo ball.
Good hustle there, trying to catch Babson off guard.
Callum Wood dumps it off for Kraft. He'll get it right back. Draws the double. Spins through it. Gets rid of it to Byer. He has Red with him. On the X, all the way up top now. Kraft with a shot, but couldn't get the tight angle. Keogh, up and under. Looking for a cutter. Faces up, draws the slide. 10 to shoot. Skip pass, missed a man. Red gonna have to create with 5. What's the call? Crease violation. Babson looking to go. Jumbo's timed that defensive substitution well. Babson was not able to take advantage as the Jumbos got 2 deep holes back on the field, but I think they counted wrong. They have 7 men on the wrong side of midfield.
Not a mistake you'll see the Jumbos making either, typically.
I actually think that one was on the coaching staff because they told 2 guys in the box to go when only 1 came off.
Yeah, there were 3 movements happening at once. One crossing over the midline there, one stepping off, and one going in where actually 2 went in. But it's a lot to keep track of. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of them this season with the amount of times that Jumbos is subbing the guys in and out to make sure everyone gets time and everyone gets a rest.
Jumbo's going to bring the starters back in here, have their man down unit get some time against this Babson unit. And a nod there from Casey D'Onofrio, acknowledging that one's on him. See if Babson can get something with the man-up unit. I've only scored 3 times tonight. Jumbo's finishing out their home campaign here on Bello. Still have yet to play a game on Bello in which their starters have had to play more than 3 quarters. D'Onofrio not happy with that call. He thought Friedman had won the race. Is he going to win that just on the argument?
Probably not.
Referee did blow the whistle, think about it, but then restarts play quickly. Jumbo's back to full strength. Extra pass wide. This time, it'll stay with Babson once again. And a really poor pass. Out to challenges for Zoli. Beavers have 15 to shoot. Around the horn it goes. Inside feed caught. Turning, shooting, and scoring. Nice finish there from Camden Matthews.
Wow, Riley. Good play. Way to find that open space in the middle. Thread the needle of a pass to be able to finish that goal.
And it is interesting. This Babson offense, which could not get a look for about 5 minutes against the Jumbo second unit defense, got one against the top unit and put it in the back of the net.
Maybe it's the unfamiliarity of the end of the third quarter for them, but here we are.
Babson trying to end this third quarter better than they ended the second. And Will Redding's going to help with that, winning the draw. It was dropped momentarily. They're going to try and go quickly. 5 to go in the quarter. Jumbo's with an all-out pressure. Skip pass down low. And into the side netting to end the quarter. We go to the fourth here on Bello, 17-4 Jumbos. Well, Micah, we mentioned in the second quarter the Jumbos with the fifth best offense in the nation, but the 20-goal plateau has been something of a mystery that they've struggled to really achieve this year.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their stats from last year, they hit the 20-goal mark 7 times over the course of last year. We're now approaching the end of the regular season. They only have that mark 3 times so far. They're looking to hit that fourth one tonight, and not to mention their second crew has a point to prove after being pulled against Middlebury when Middlebury started to mount a comeback, so they still want to make sure they impress Coach Nolfo as much as they can.
Definitely a factor to consider. Can't imagine the second crew was particularly happy to see their EMO and man down opportunities cut out by the first unit. Though they're making a name for themselves right now. That one scooped up by Salcedo. Numbers again. And Victor Salcedo showing why he is a Fogo. Jumbo's one offside. Referee taking a sweet time counting. And in the end, after both coaches yell that they wanted an offside call, the referee decides to keep the whistle away. Saved on the far side there by Max Mallet. A lot of changes being made also by Babson. Martin with the feed inside and a nice save. Down low there by Friedman. Scooped. Jumbo's looking to run. And they're going to score. Stepping into that one and getting a fourth is Bocchio.
He's having quite the night, is Bocchio. I mean, he's just popped up everywhere.
The transformation of Bocchio. He stepped into the starting lineup when Rigneri went down. And since he went in, even when he returned to the bench with Rigneri coming back to full health, he's been a different type of weapon, especially with that shot.
I mean, the crazy part is he's the only player who is outside the typical starting 10 that has gotten a start this year due to Rigneri's injury. And when you have that kind of depth to call on, especially just how he's exploded second half of the season, but especially tonight, it is a blessing for Coach Nolfo.
Heavy ride here from Babson. Friedman between the lines. That's William Bonner. Callum Boyd comes off a screen. Low shot. That one gets through.
And we're about to hit the 20-goal mark after about 2 minutes, it looks like. And at this point, you have to question if we should have expected this. The Jumbos won this game last year 17-11, but coming into this game, the Jumbos lost only 2 of their goals last year that they scored, those from Kevin Christmas and I believe Ben Clark. compared to Babson, who lost 7 of their 11 goals that they scored. And they just have not been able to show up tonight offensively.
I mean, I think I could have been convinced to expect a game that wasn't as close as last year's. I would never have guessed this. A clean win there by Eric Helgelson, who spins away with the ball, gets it ahead. Solomon falls down, but comes back with the ball. And the Jumbos, despite being up 14, continuing to do the little things. Melton going to take a jog, go to the X. Nick George hops on the field for the first time today. He's been a weapon in his limited play time. Tries to get his hands free right away. Spins, draws the double. Got it knocked out of his stick, but got it back. And he's going to get a flag. Jumbos will go man up momentarily. Kraft. Little spin. Gives it to Tweedy, who rides around the GLE. Can't get it into the back of the net. But the Jumbos keep possession. And what's the call here? I think it's going to be an illegal screen on the Jumbos. So now that'll stop the play, and they'll go man up. Waiting to see what the call is here. There'll be a minute penalty there on the Beavers for a slash. Second man up unit here for the Bows. It'll be Tweedy, Byer, Kraft, Melton, and Nick George, along with Bokio.
Your attention, please. Now in goal for Tufts number 6, Will Anderson.
Will Anderson in goal as the Jumbos go through their 5. Byer tried the reverse, but it couldn't find the frame. Melton up top, Byer. Tweedy skips it. Kramer catches. His skip pass was deflected, and he'll stay with the Bows. 28 left on the man up. Tweedy. Back for a step down submarine style. Fresh 60. And a pick call, I believe, on the Jumbos. Will turn the ball over. And interestingly, not much of a ride here despite being man up. Can allow Babson to see off the rest of their man down minute. And find Smith in space here. Babson back to full strength. Jumbo's going to double Smith anyway. Smith gets a step. Finds the man, and that one deflected. Anderson might have gotten a tip to it.
Again, that's the opportunity that Babson have to take. Might have been good defense getting the deflection in, but still just need that shot to come a split second faster.
Around the horn it goes. Little face dodge. Works back to the X. Hard cut. Shot low. Anderson with the save. Rebound is scooped up by the goalie who's going to take a run. He finds Melton. He finds a cutter. Freelander up top. And a point-blank save. Rebound put in by Joey Kraft.
That was an unreal play by Freelander there, sprinting up and reaching behind him to get that pass. I mean, that, like, give-go third runner. Again, it's just beautiful across the match, the beautiful skies we had before this game.
Jumbo's bench loving it over there, dancing, having a good time, as they have crossed the 20-goal threshold for the 4th time this year.
And I'll tell you what, Babson, on their end, conceding 20 goals is a bad sign for them, as they have done that once in the past 16 seasons. That was RIT last year. So that tells you the kind of quality it takes to get 20 goals past this team. RIT, of course, national runners-up to Tufts last year.
RIT, another name Babson does not like to hear, have knocked them out of the NCAA tournament 2 years running.
They put up 23 last May, and Jumbo's on course to break that.
Joey Kraft in a little bit of pressure, gets it up to Melton. Has a man on the GLE, but doesn't take it. Woods spins it up top. Jackson Red wants it, and he's going to get it. Red had the assist on Keogh's hat trick goal earlier. So the Jumbos continue to play perimeter passing while they substitute behind the play. Bo Ryan now on the field. Here's Ryan Smith with it. Little stutter step. Draws the double. Skip pass. Almost worked, but it'll be a turnover. Jumbos not on the same page there, allowing an easy clear. As Micah, if you're Babson, what can you do at this point? What do you focus on for the next 9 minutes? Because obviously you're not getting back into this game.
No, but at this point, it's about preparing for another game against top quality. As you say, got knocked out last year and the year before by RIT in Rochester. They don't want to go to Rochester again, but if they have to, they want to just have some reps against top quality teams like this, and that's a good sign for them.
Great finish there. Matt Park, the senior from Waltham, gets himself on the board. And that's better because for the first time really in a long time, there was some actual north-south penetration from the Babson offense.
Yeah, and again, there's that speed that we've been looking for all game. Finally just got caught the goalie off guard, albeit that is Tufts' third-string goalie, but still, you got to play against what's in front of you. And that was well taken.
Jumbo's bench doing a lacrosse version of the Olay over there as they win yet another draw. Aggressive ride from Babson. Not going to work. But it will end up with a deflection. And I think D'Onofrio called the timeout. Oh, no. A really just bad decision there from Bryce Hall Knight, the sophomore LSM, who stepped across too early and sent the Jumbos offside before Babson commits what's got to be at least their 25th. It is exactly that. Number 25 turnover on the night.
I think the one saving grace for Babson, that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe the MPI takes into account margin of victory.
It does not. It'll save them.
Because otherwise this would tarnish their reputation in the eyes of the voting coaches.
No, in terms of the MPI, this will actually not do a ton of damage to Babson just because the Jumbos, along with Salisbury, are so far ahead in MPI compared to everyone else in the nation. For the Jumbos, this will be a big win because Babson will improve their 7th win in terms of MPI rating and jump them ahead of Salisbury in the overall rating. Put them in position to be the overall #1 seed.
Meanwhile, Babson, they'll be hoping they don't have to worry about MPI ranking. They should have the automatic NUMAC qualifier bid wrapped up if they can win that tournament. But that's no guarantee.
But they're going to have to probably, in all likelihood, go through Springfield to do it. And Springfield took care of business against them a couple weeks ago.
Should all else fail, still sitting, I believe, in the second to last automatic qualifier, or excuse me, at-large qualifier as of right now.
They are as of right now, but I have to imagine, I haven't done the math, that they will drop out of an at-large bid with this loss.
It's just it's so tight around that area. So many teams from this New England area that Babson will have played against as well.
And that is the beauty and the curse of the MPI system, is that so much scoreboard watching has to be done this time of year to figure out, are you in or are you out? Skip pass, almost caught with one hand. Jumbo's going to hustle to try and keep it in, but it'll be a turnover. See if they bring an aggressive ride on the man up. 10 man on. And they force a loose pass. That'll be scooped up there by Davis Owens. Jumbos with numbers. Behind the play. Skip pass, a little too high for Bo Ryan. That one saved there by Charlie Barson, the first year from Louisville. Submarine shot from the pole, but Owens couldn't get it past. And Barson not able to provide a proper ride, which will allow Babson to clear. Substitutes flying in and out of the box here as we dip under 6 to play on Bello. That one gonna roll towards the midfield line. It'll be scooped up there by Drew Scott. Babson preparing some more substitutions behind the play as that one wide. Denolfo also getting some substitutions ready for the next time the Jumbos have the ball across midfield, which will be in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, just another turnover from Babson. That's got to be one of the most damning signs on the night for them.
And it will be another goalie change for the Bows. Alex Dirk's going to come in as soon as they clear across half.
It is important to get minutes for those backup goalies. Garzona graduate student, Friedman senior. There's going to be some changes next year in that for the Jumbos.
That is, and the craziest stat, assuming the Jumbos do get all 5 in here tonight, is every home game this year, they will have gotten all 5 goalies onto the field. As Dirks will come in for Anderson. There will definitely be a lot of turnover, especially on that defensive end. Garzone obviously graduating. They will also lose Ayers, Panagopoulos, and Waldbaum, in addition to the likes of Ben Frizzoli, Charlie Tagliaferri, and Max Ettinghausen. But still a lot of young talent on this Jumbos team. That one off the outside of the post. And scooped up nicely by Almquist.
If you're a Jumbos fan, the one thing you hope is you get one more year out of Regneri. He's got already top 10 all-time for goals scored with over a year left in his Jumbos career.
Another year from Regneri, another from Brookshauser, and Garrett Kelly. They will still return a couple All-Americans to the squad next year, but the way they're rolling right now, the focus isn't on next year. It's can they do the double? That one hits the turf. As did Henry Rome, the freshman from Chestnut Hill. Jumbo's trying some defensive changes here. Doubling the ball now in what looks to be a zone. Force the skip. Comes back up top with 20 to shoot. Ball knocked free. It'll be saved with 8. And that'll be a shot low. It'll stay with Babson, but they won't have anything that they can do with it with 1 on the shot clock.
For Babson, you still got plenty more next year. Seamus Rooney, sophomore. You've got Sam Sisk, a sophomore. You've got Camden Matthews, also sophomore. So you've still got the building blocks of a good team here, and they're still very good right now, but just coming up against a Jumbos team with an air of invincibility around them.
They're almost the opposite of the Jumbos. Well, the Jumbos last year were the young team that had another year. That is Babson this year. They have that young team, with the exception of Justin Green. All of their leading scorers, their top 6, will be back next year. So this is a team set up for the future, but unfortunately for them, the future is not tonight. Tweedy. Had a good look, but Almquist was ready for it. And then, ooh, that's a generous call.
Should point out Almquist also a freshman, so they may be losing Fischilla next year, but Almquist is getting plenty of good minutes under his belt.
Don't know what the Babson record for most turnovers in a game is, but I gotta get a feeling they're getting pretty close. That one, number 28 on the night. Burks with a little too much juice, but it's going to get all the way to George. Knocked free. Up top now. That's Drew Haugen. And it's finished there. His first of the year from the sophomore. Jumbos aren't done just yet.
Something about the Tufts and attackers with HAU in their name. Haugen, Hauser, Eddinghausen. It's really just a theme for them, but if that's a sign what's to come from Haugen, then they will have that streak keeping going, no problem.
Is that just what Casey Anolfo searches when he's going through recruiting profiles?
Honestly.
Yeah, I think those are his two keywords. He searches how, and he searches Jack. He hit with Jack Boyden, hit with Jack Regneri, and the Jumbos continue to roll once again.
It's a shame he didn't recruit Andrew Howe.
I don't know. From what I remember, Andrew Howe's lacrosse skills were not quite jumbo quality.
We never got an amateur hour for that, did we?
From what I heard, and this is according to the JumboCast lore, they did film amateur hour, but it went so spectacularly wrong that it was never released.
Surely we can get an internal version, right?
We can work on that. Jumbo's playing a little bit of possession lacrosse here. Gonna be saved in. Final minute here on Bello. Up top, Ryan Smith catches. Almost got the up and under, but couldn't get his hands free. Got 10 seconds to work. Stutter step, rolls free, draws the slide, skip pass. Gonna have to do something with 5. Skips it down low, caught, reverse shot, nearly went in there. That was Blake Washburn trying to pull his best Jack Regneri, but he couldn't find the frame. Jumbo's going to bring an aggressive ride here, despite being up 15 with 20 seconds left. And I think they got an offside call. They did. And that pretty much sums up the Babson night. Jumbo's across the timeline. They're not going to do anything with it. We go final here from Bello, 21-5 for the Jumbos. Their statement win of the regular season puts them back atop the MPI and sends a message to the rest of the D3 world that if you want to get a national championship, your road to do so is going to have to come through Bello.
I mean, what a time to make it as well. Going up against Bowdoin and Amherst, those next couple games to close out the regular season. This is the time you want to make that statement, show that you really are the best. You are deserving of that #1 unanimous decision in the polls. And they have really just put it to the Babson Beavers tonight, who will have to regroup for the rest of their season.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Micah, because it has been interesting watching those polls and watching how every week Salisbury gets 1 or 2 more people voting for them #1. I get a feeling that might change after tonight when you take the number 18 team in the country and send them to the woodshed like the Jumbos just did to Babson. You send a message to the rest of the D3 world, but for the Jumbos, that only matters till Saturday because they have to go to Amherst on Amherst Senior Day and get a win against the number 6 team in the country.
That is one of the biggest games of the season so far, as they've, well, as you say, Salisbury has gotten that advantage until now in the MPI, and to an extent, the credit in the polls from their strength of schedule. But the Jumbos now have that chance to prove themselves once and for all over some more top 10 opposition. They did it against CNU, they did it against RIT, and now is the final stretch.
Final stretch started here tonight with a dominant win. Our final stretch of the regular season here at JumboCast keeps on rolling. We'll be back with you here from Bello Saturday afternoon at 1 when the women take on Amherst for Senior Day. We'll also be at the track there on Saturday for the first time in 2025. But until then, I'd like to thank the other members of my crew, our director, Zachary Miller, who's seemingly signaling something at me that I don't understand, Sophia Kahn up on the cams, and my wonderful color commentators, Micah Baum and Catherine Burns. I've been Riley Daniel saying for the final time of the 2025 regular season, stay home safely from Bello.